Ben, what you've done and the ambitions, you do seriously surprise me.
Thank you, Chef. I was hoping you'd see that. I mean, I'd give it all I got. Give you 110.
You surprise me to how shit you are.
Oh, thank you.
Football, football. Football, football, football. Football, football, football. Football, football, football. Football, football.
Welcome to this special edition of the Crossroads Fantasy Football League playoff prediction. I am your host, Mike Stemler, joined alongside big old Tumnus, William Howard himself. Will, how are we feeling on this playoff edition of the podcast?
Oh, we are just feeling absolutely fantastic. I mean, as you see here, we're chilling, we're vibing. I was the lovely gentleman to end my regular season with a bye week, playing against Ms. Your last place, Gourdzilla, not even scoring up 100 points against me. And I go from bye week into bye week, being your champion of the regular season at 11-3. So I'm just preparing for round 2 of the playoffs. I'm sharpening my sword here, because I got some time. I got 2 weeks to prepare. Might as well get started. So I'm just sharpening my sword over here, having a good time, getting ready for war.
I like it. So first thing we're going to do is just a quick little look over here. I don't know if Will's going to put it up on the screen of the final standings of the regular season. So the regular season has come to a close. Kudos on finishing 2 seasons of the Crossroads Fantasy Football League, everybody.
Round of applause for
Round of
members.
applause. Round of applause to you. In 10th place, we have Gourdzilla finishing with 3-11 points for 1,887 points against 2,400 points with a remaining fab budget of $7. Next up, we have El Toro Tori, your sleeper pick, finishing in 9th at 4-10, $4 left on the waiver budget. She did score 2,100 points, and she did have 2,300 points scored against her. Followed up by Joel with a record of 4-10, leaving $0 in the waiver budget. 2,200 points scored, 2,400 scored against. Caleb with a late season surge finishes at 6-8 with a whopping $49 left in the waiver budget. And he has only scored 2,100 points, 2,177 points, which is 1 point more than Tori, but finishes in 7th place with 2,300 points scored against him. Kevin ekes into the playoffs, limping in. Both legs are broken with a record of 7-7, $37 left on the waivers. Surprised he doesn't spend that on a kicker. 2,270 points and 2,300 points scored against. The Phoenix rising from the ashes of a 0-7 start to finish the season 7-7, $0 left in the waivers, 2,300 points scored, 2,200 points scored against him. Then we get to the top 4. Katie in the 4th place spot, 9-5 with $6 left in the waivers, 2,305 points scored, points against 2,100. Next up in the 3rd spot, we have Heather's Haterade, 2,500 points scored. This is where we start seeing some separation. 2,300 points scored against, 9-5, only leaving $2 in the waiver budget. Then we have myself, Mike's Magical Milkman, finishing in the 2nd spot, 2,600 points scored, 2,349 points against, finishing with 10-4, $5 left in the fab budget. And the number 1 spot goes to you, William. Big old Tumnus. Although I did outscore you by, I have 2,666 points. You have 2,652. I was the highest scoring team. You eke out the number 1 spot with 2,652 points scored, points against, 23, and you have no money left in your waiver budget. That is the final standings for the Crossroads Fantasy Football League regular season. Round of applause to all. Sorry to the bottom four who did not make the playoffs. How are you feeling about that final lineup, William? Is that where you thought it was going to end when this season started?
Well, I was totally happy with your announcements until you started talking, giving yourselves the, little, wham baby participation trophy of, I scored the most points, even though you couldn't get it done in the end, keeping your first place spot. You came last week with a lot of smoke against me about how, I couldn't handle it against Sean, but you lost to Caleb, my guy. You lost to Caleb, and you lost the number 1 seed. It was in your hands, and you couldn't hold on to it, and it was an absolute fumble on your part. And then you have the audacity to wear those ugly sunglasses and just to say, well, I scored the most points. Last time I checked, we don't give two rat poops about who scored the most points unless the record is tied. And last time I checked, what's your record?
10-4.
And what's my record?
11-3.
Then why are you bringing up points for? It does not matter. It doesn't 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 matter. Regardless, I think it's fantastic. I think overall the standings, I think there's a lot of shockers when you quickly look at it. Now, you and me up at the top, I thought we were locked in to at least get into the playoffs. Did I think we got the first and second seed? I think I'm a little surprised about both of us getting first and second together. I thought one of us would get it. I think the biggest shocker by far is Kevin dropped down in the 6. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a big shocker. I think beginning of the season with our teams, I don't think that I projected us to be in the top 2, but I will say I think that we do have an advantage because we do this podcast every week and we are looking at all the lineups far more than anybody else. So I think that alone is going to give us an advantage because we are getting so nerdy on it. So I'm not as surprised at this juncture that we're there. Beginning of the season, I would have been surprised. I am a little surprised at Joel not making the playoffs this year. I think that when you look at his team, it was never really it was kind of suspect, but Derrick Henry just was not the guy. I don't know. I just thought that he was going to maybe do a little better this year than what happened. So, that kind of stinks to see him not in the playoffs. After the draft, I just didn't feel like he had a non-playoff team. I'm a little shocked that Caleb finished in 7th. I don't think that he really paid much attention to the league. I think he gave it the minimal attention. And, case in point, he has almost half of his fab budget left over. Yeah. So I think that he just rode the back of Josh Allen as far as he could, and it got him to the 7th place spot. So I'm a little shocked about that.
I think what's really
when I look at it, I think when you look at the lineups after the draft, I think the top 6 makes sense. And I think I would say I could see swapping Torrey or Joel. Really, I don't know. It's just hard to tell after the draft. But I think Torrey was probably the one who has suffered the most amount of injury impact on her team and couldn't recover from it, unlike Heather, who did. So I think beginning of the season, I would have expected to see her in the top 6 instead of in the bottom 4.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting is, you could almost look at the second season as kind of a early projection of what is going to be asked of these managers in season 3. Because now you have more of the consistent fighters. You and me have now consistently back-to-back made it to playoffs. Heather has now consistently back-to-back made it to playoffs. Katie has...
No, Heather didn't make it last year.
Oh, sorry. Heather did not make it last year. So now the question will be, what is going to be the majority? Is Heather going to majority make it into the playoffs, or is she going to be... Or was this a lucky year? Katie consistently made it into the playoffs. So you have those proofs.
The top six are all playoff repeats except for Heather.
Which is crazy. Crazy. And that was a substitute for Torrey, who was our winner of season 1.
Yeah.
who now finds herself in 9th place. So now the question is going to be going into season 3. Was the win that Tori got a fluke? I don't know.
I don't think it was. I think that again, I would go back to her draft, and after the draft, I think that she was in a good place and she had some crucial injuries that kind of like
But that's the point of the
know.
waivers, because we can look at a Katie who was suffering in season 1 with some crucial injuries. Christian McCaffrey completely out, and she was able to claw it back. Now, am I saying that like I don't think you should always just, you're talking about 14 weeks to grab a ship and steer it into the right direction. I think she maybe could have done some better things to maybe have given her a better shot. Because
let me just read this off real quick.
Okay, read it off.
The go back to September. Here we go. Malik Neighbors, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Hurts, Kyren Williams, Terry McBride, R. Harvey, K. Johnson, not sure who he is, Jalen Waddle, Tyler Warren, Stephon Diggs, Keon Coleman, Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, Brees Allen. That was her team. That was her team after the draft. I mean, you look at that team back then, that is a playoff team. So the question is, where did it go wrong for her? Obviously, the Neighbors injury was huge. Russell Wilson to Jackson Dart to Jameis Winston. I mean, the Giants
Jameis
quarterback
Winston was wild.
the Giants quarterback situation was just brutal. Jalen Hurts he had some good games, but I mean, I don't know. This to me, it's not a second to last place team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
but here's the thing. If you look at, because here's the thing. Now let's look at her team now. You do have the Jalen Hurts, which besides what the heck happened yesterday, which was crazy fluke. Jalen Hurts, decent quarterback. Still have Kyren Williams. CeeDee Lamb did play and put up 24 points before he got injured. You have A.J. Brown. You have Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren, even though he did not have a good game this week, I believe he's currently ranked. He's the number 4 tight end in the league right now. You got David Montgomery. You picked up Kyle Monengani, the backup Bears running back, who has been putting up decent points and been fighting with Swift for touches and stuff. So
we're recording. I don't think Shane's asleep. You can go up there and check on him.
Oh man, parent duties, gotta do them. I think she still has. My goodness, look at this goober. Hey, you gotta stop celebrating. You gotta get ready.
You gotta get ready. You got a game.
You got a game.
We don't have games.
We don't have games. Why are you celebrating right now? The job's not done.
She says she's been ready.
Oh,
we'll get to your
ready.
breakdown. We'll get to your game breakdown.
Lord have mercy. She better be ready. She's going against Kevin. She doesn't have to be that ready. Overall, with Tori, I think this is a very disappointing season. And I do think the big question is going to be, which I'm going to see, and I want to look at season 3, is, was your win in season 1 a fluke? Or can you put up some serious gas? Because I think the only things that we can consistently say is you and I are good. We're consistent, back-to-back in, and we got the bye weeks. Katie, consistently good, back-to-back in the playoffs. Joel, you say it's a surprise he's down there, brother. He was last place. He was last place last year, and he's only third to last, and who knows, he could be the biggest loser again back-to-back seasons. Like, I think we're starting to see trends, and I think the only big trend right now that's going to be questioning me is Tori. Tori, what can you do next season? Or are we going to start questioning? That's the biggest thing overall. But
all right, well let's go real quick here. Let's go down to the toilet bowl bracket real quick.
Okay.
So just real quick, we've got Gordon versus Caleb and Tori versus Joel. I think Gordon loses to Caleb. He's only projected to get 99 points. If Josh Allen does anything remotely like Josh Allen does, I think Caleb wins and Gordon advances to the last place game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just, I mean, his team is just,
I mean, Gordon mortgaged his team for the future. So, I mean, I don't think it's any surprise that he's probably going to lose.
he's probably going to lose, but it's one of those things when he decided to, prepare, to tank and prepare for next season, he still can't get last place unless he's just willing to get the forfeit and do whatever the forfeit is. But, it's looking rough for him. Jaden Daniels injured. Drake May comes back. DJ Metcalf just he apparently went to the hospital because of a stomach thing. Will he be ready?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Metcalf
apparently he's
did?
questionable right now. DK Metcalf. So, that's one of your main guys. So
Jane Daniels, let's go right here. Jane Daniels is questionable. Metcalf is questionable. B. Wright is on IR, his tight end.
yep.
Odunze is out. I mean,
Now to be fair, and I will give him the benefit of the doubt for his fight against me. Drake May was on bye, Hubbard was on bye, Parcell was on bye, Robinson was on bye. He had a huge bye week.
yeah.
Will those players make a difference? Who
I
knows?
don't know.
I think the big question we need to ask for this is, who does Josh Allen play this upcoming week? Let's look at it.
Josh Allen plays New England at New England.
That's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
That's a tough matchup.
I mean, I'm rooting for Gordon. I want Gordon to win. I want Caleb to finish in last. I'm just gonna say it. That's what I want. I would love it. I want Caleb to pay the penalty. And I want Gordon to win. But I just don't know if it's gonna happen as much as I want it to.
I don't know if it's going to happen either. It's Caleb's team, Josh Allen.
Sucks.
Josh Allen against New England. He put when the Buffalo went up against New England earlier, he put up 37 points. He's got HN, but HN's questionable, which is he's probably going to be rested this upcoming week. So you lose a heavy hitter in your running back. ETN has been doing really well the second half. You got Xavier Worthy, Brian Thomas, Jake Ferguson. I hate to tell you this just because, this is the honest truth. I think he has enough gas to at least get him out of king of last place overall, especially since he goes against Gordon. Now, if he was going against Joel, that might be another shout. But, yeah, I think Caleb takes this. And I think Gordon is your first person in the fight for king for last place.
Yeah.
The
I
next
think
matchup.
between Tori and Joel,
Yes.
I think Tori's going to squeak this one out. There's no way Jalen Hurts has another game like he just had. He's going to have a bounce back game. They're playing against the Raiders.
CeeDee Lamb is out.
They're playing against the Raiders. I understand CeeDee Lamb is out, but they're playing against the Raiders at home. The Raiders are trash. I think Jalen Hurts has a bounce back game. I think AJ Brown has a big game. I think that is a huge swing. And so I think that right there, and Stephon Diggs comes back off bye. So she can put Diggs in and put instead of Lamb, and I think she's going to be okay there. So I'm going to go with Tori. That's my prediction on this one.
Okay. I mean, if we look at Joel's team, Joel's got the Bronco boys on lock. I mean, here's the honest problem he is at right now is, well, it's not a major problem, but I mean, did you see Zach Ertz injury this week?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude.
It was bad.
When I tell you that his knee bowed inward at like this angle from just a drop, just shoulder into it, it was bad. Zach Ertz is out. Pierce, questionable.
And the Bronco boys play Green Bay.
Tough matchup. Godwin
Tough
as well,
matchup.
questionable. But he was a full participant, so he's probably playing. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Bronco boys against Green Bay. Very good defense overall. I don't know what to say because Tori has let me down so much. To be completely honest with you, I think not because of Tori's situation, but I think because of Joel's situation. I don't know if the matchups are good for what he has. So I agree with you. I think Tori might squeak it out because of Joel's matchup situation.
Yeah, it's just the matchups. So, all right. Well, there we go.
That's our
Now
toilet
we
boy.
come to the meat and potatoes.
The meat and
we
potatoes.
come to the reason why we're here. Playoff breakdowns. So, put on your hard hats. We're going to start with we're going to start with the higher seeded team versus we're going to start with the
Let's just go down the line.
Heather. We're going to start with the higher seeded team versus the lowest seeded team. That would be Heather versus Kevin.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to jump in there. I'm going to go ahead. I will break down Heather's lineup and you tell me what you think.
Okay.
We've got Joey B back in the lineup for her currently right now. Williams for Dallas.
Dallas.
Taylor, running back for Indianapolis, which they just signed Phillip Rivers to be their quarterback.
Wild.
Indianapolis still has a lot to play for. They are a playoff team. So they're still has a lot to play for. Puka Nacua, Zay Flowers, Travis Kelce, Wilson for Arizona, which had a staggering 46 points this week.
There's a lot.
Lad McConkey, which has been putting up goose eggs for her pretty much since our trade. Jake Elliott in Tampa Bay. Her bench options are Stafford, Singletary, Algier, Franklin for Denver, Garrett Wilson. Actually, nope, he's on IR. And Hunter Henry. Those are her bench options. How are we feeling about her team? Do you have a take on her lineup and who you would like to see in there for this game?
I think, and I told her this when I saw her on Sunday, I think she has had the luckiest run with quarterbacks I've ever seen. I mean, you're talking about she had Joey B, who fantastic quarterback to have in your fantasy lineup. Goes out injured. She picks up Indiana, Mr. Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones. He helps her make it to the playoffs. Man snaps his Achilles right off the bone, right off the femur, right when Joe Burrow comes back and puts up a nice 39 points for her. I mean, I think that's fantastic. I think overall, team's looking good. It really, I think the only thing that makes me a little bit nervous is some of these teams have some pretty tough matchups. You're talking about Joe Burrow going up in Baltimore. You got Javonte Williams against Minnesota is pretty easy, pretty simple one. Jonathan Taylor against the Seahawks. Seahawks have been a pretty decent defense. Puka's going over to Detroit. Detroit's also been a pretty decent defense as well. Travis Kelce going up against the Chargers. It is at home, but still, that's going to be a tough matchup. It is a
divisional game, and it's a must-win game for the Chiefs.
I think they're out. I'm pretty sure the Chiefs
are they eliminated?
I think with the Chargers win, I believe they're out. I think. I can't. I'm pretty sure they're out, but I think the lineup she has right now, the only issue I have is I just don't really love anybody that is.
They are eliminated from winning the AFC West.
That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, they can't win the AFC West, but I guess they need, so it is a must-win game for them.
They have a 9 to 11% chance to make it right now. So it's a must-win.
They got to win.
Yeah. They got to win out.
The only thing I don't like about her team is I just think the bench is really lacking. Algier, Singletary.
Well, of course her bench is lacking. I mean, she's had to battle through injuries this entire season.
She has. So it's just one of those things of I guess the only decision I would make is, do you put Hunter Henry against Buffalo over a Travis Kelce against the Chargers would be my one big question. But everyone else, I think, eases into her starting lineup. But this is what makes me nervous for her when it comes to a late playoff push. If one of these studs gets injured, she's in trouble. Imagine if a Puka gets injured. Imagine if a Jonathan Taylor gets injured. Imagine if the only person that she's got secured, if Burrow gets injured again, Maddie Stafford can come back in.
One thing I would like to see her do, and I'm going to say this quietly because I don't want her to hear me. I think she needs to get a different defense.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think she drops Tampa Bay right now. Philadelphia is available, and they play Las Vegas.
No, they play. They play Vegas. That could be good.
I would pick up Philadelphia.
Probably.
The Philadelphia defense at home against Las Vegas. I'm picking that up over Tampa Bay playing the Panthers because the Panthers
have come out of nowhere,
and they have everything to play for.
Yeah.
So they're trying to win. So I could see her picking up some points there, but I don't think.
Yeah, and I mean, if you wanted to even still keep Tampa Bay because you'd like to have options on defense, get rid of Garrett Wilson. He's not going to be your keeper for next year.
Yeah,
dump him. Man's on IR. Why? Like why is he still?
Or Danny Jones. I would dump him or Danny Jones.
Yeah, like neither of them are going to be above Jonathan Taylor or Puka or even Joe Burrow. So it's like, drop them. Have two defenses. It's okay. Like at this point, if I would rather see multiple defenses or multiple of one position than to see people who are on IR who obviously are not going to be kept for next season.
Tampa Bay plays Carolina. Atlanta.
Oh, they play Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Atlanta's out, so nothing to play for as well. They play Carolina in Week 16, so yeah, I would agree with that. So I think she has a very, very, very strong team. It's just she has nothing on the bench to show for. So I feel like her lineup, from what we see, what you just went down with, I wouldn't make any switch besides maybe the tight end position, and that kind of depends on choose your poison, who you think might ball out overall.
I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be a huge factor for her because they are going to run the shit out of the ball with Philip Rivers.
You tell me 44-year-old Philly Rivers can't still sling it like he used to?
I mean, I think that boy can sling it, but they're going to run Jonathan Taylor. So I think that's a huge win for her. All right, let's go to the other side of the football here. We are going to go to Rev Kev with 2 broken legs. I'm going to read the lineup off. You tell me what you think. Jared Goff in at quarterback, Barkley running back, Cook running back, Williams for Detroit wide receiver, Smith wide receiver for Philadelphia, Strange tight end Jacksonville, Vidal running back for the Chargers, Pittman wide receiver Indiana, Aubrey the goat of kicking in a kicker, and then Baltimore.
He scored good points this time.
He did. And bench options, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Jones, Jerry Jeudy, St. Brown, Hawkinson, and the Chargers defense. Anything jump out at you off the get-go?
See, I feel like Kevin is on the opposite end of Torrey. He has a lot of different options, but
You mean opposite of Heather?
Sorry, opposite of Heather. He has a lot of different options, and it really kind of comes down to what option is the right option. Like right off the bat, Baltimore versus Pittsburgh, you put in for this week, got you 0 points. But I understand why you did it because the Chargers were going against Philadelphia. Who would have thought the Chargers would have gotten 4 interceptions, which would have gotten you 19 points in that? Did it matter in this game? No, because you won this game. So it didn't matter in the long run, but in playoffs, that can make a big difference. 19-point swings are very possible in these high-intense games. Lamar Jackson versus Jared Goff. Who do you play? Lamar Jackson's going against the Rams, while Jared Goff is going against the Rams, while Lamar Jackson's going against Cincinnati. Both of those are games that either quarterback could shine or struggle in. St. Brown, how does he come in compared to your wide receivers? Compared to Devontae Smith and Jameson Williams, compared to Jameson, Devontae Smith and Jameson Williams. It's like, who comes in there? TJ Hawkinson versus Strange. He has a lot of different options, and this is what we have seen consistently with Kevin. It even happened this week. If you look at this week's report, he was still not a very efficient manager. If I'm pulling up the Week 14 report, our boy Kevin he left 40-something points on the table. So Kevin really needs to lock in. he's lucky that the meme didn't continue to where he lost to his son. So cool. I can stop with the clown memes. I'm not doing a clown meme this week. I won't do a clown meme anymore. I would have only done a clown meme if you would have kept losing and kept going down the brackets. But now you got to lock in, buddy, because I'm seeing a lot of inconsistency. I'm seeing a lot of just you have too much of a good thing and you don't know what is the best one to go in. Like, what is the best person to go into your starting lineup? And that, maybe too much of a good thing is a problem. What do you think, Mike?
I think it's shocking to see St. Brown on the bench. I mean, I think you got to ride with the dogs. I mean, I get it. You got Williams, St. Brown's like, who's golf going to throw to?
Was he injured though? Was he potentially out because of injury?
No, I don't.
Said he was battling through an ankle injury in his going into the week 14 performance.
Well, he scored 17 points.
He did. I mean, he's the guy for the Lions. So yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you got to roll with him. But, I mean, Williams scored 20, But I think
Smith
the
scored
biggest, I think the biggest thing for me that I would say, I don't like starting two wide receivers on the same team. That's weird. But I think the biggest thing I would say is Vidal cannot be in your lineup anymore with Hampton coming back. I think you got to go with a different option there. I mean, you could go Williams, Smith, and St. Brown right there, But I think you got to take Vidal out of the lineup.
And they go against Kansas City, which is going to be, that's going to be a hard game. You don't know what is going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen with those Chargers running backs, with that offensive line that is still one of the worst in the leagues.
Yeah. And then maybe you take a look at Jerry Jeudy with Shador Sanders in there. I don't know. But I agree. I think Kevin's got some decisions to make. I think that he has options. I think the non-negotiables are Barclay, Cook. I think you put them in. And I think a non-negotiable for me is Vidal is out of the starting lineup with Hampton coming back.
That's fair.
Because he's splitting carries with Hampton. I mean, it was very clear last night they were going to use Hampton, Yeah.
And I mean, for a backup still to get 14 carries is really nice. But again, he's getting 14 carries because they're easing Hampton back into it. It was his first game back. So, you're really going to have to figure out like how much of a hit is that? Now, I think Vidal has done enough to prove himself to be the RB2. I mean, obviously. I mean, who else do the Chargers have? Najee Harris is out for the season. I don't even know. Sean Haskins has not really shown up. So, like, I think him picking up Kamani Vidal was very nice. It was a very nice pickup. He's had some stellar performances, but I do agree with you. You can experiment with it in the middle of the season, but we're in playoffs now. Now's not the time to experiment. You got to put up your best lineup that will go.
Yeah. You got to put up the lineup that you feel like has to me, the biggest thing that we got to decide in the playoffs is who has the biggest potential for a boom.
Yeah.
And you're just hoping you catch it because you just can't, like, that's the thing with Vidal. Could he outscore Hampton? Yeah, he could, but he's not going to score over 20. Hampton's going to maybe get you 25, 30. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. You got to think through your lineup, who has the best chance for a boom, and go with that player. That's how I feel. And that's how I feel about St. Brown. I think Williams is a good player, obviously. I mean, he's had some great performances, but he only has one 34-point performance in the season. St. Brown, he's got a 46 and he's got a 38. So, you're hoping you're going to be able to catch a lightning in the bottle at the right time right now. And so you got to go with the players who are going to give you that biggest chance for the boom. So that's my thought. So,
all right.
With
all that being said, Kevin versus Heather, who do you think moves on?
We'll circle back. We'll do predictions at the end.
Okay.
Little teaser. Keep people waiting. So we're jumping down to the next game. We're going to start with Katie Anderson. All you need is love. Here's the lineup Jordan Love, she's got her boy in ride or die in there, went off of Baker Mayfield, maybe the best coaching decision of the season. Chris Rodriguez in at running back, Josh Jacobs. Well, obviously he was in at running back because Christian McCaffrey's on bye, so that will
Yep.
change.
Yep.
Josh Jacobs, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams, Dustin Kincaid,
Dalton
Jay Matechi, don't even know who that is, Dobbs for Green Bay, Prater for the kicker, and Green Bay's defense on the bench. You got Slayton and McCaffrey were on bye. Baker Mayfield, Drake London is out. C. Austin and Mark Andrews at tight end. What are initial thoughts?
You know, she's still, I think, overall, it's a solid team. I think she has some decision. I think the lock right now, she has the best running back pair in the league. Christian McCaffrey and Josh Jacobs is a solid combo. What I don't love is the wide receiving options. Keenan Allen has not been a good fantasy wide receiver this year, and they go against Kansas City. That scares me. Devontae Adams has been a good wide receiver, number 6 in the league. He's been good. But they go against Detroit. And the problem is that as high as he could possibly go, he's behind Puka. And Puka's the one that's balling out. It's like if I picked up Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's a good wide receiver, but JSN's there. And JSN is the one that's getting all the love. So that makes me a little bit nervous. So, and I think one of the biggest hits is Drake London is out. And it looks like he's still not practicing. So it doesn't look like he is coming back for the game against Tampa Bay. And, with the Falcons being out, do they even really play him anymore? Or do they just let him rest?
And they're Thursday night against the Bucks.
Exactly.
He's not playing. He's not playing.
So I'm a little bit nervous for Katie. On top of that, her lovely Green Bay boys are going against Detroit. Going against Denver. At Denver. Denver has one of the best defenses in the league right now. So you're talking about Jordan Love's going to have a hard time. Josh Jacobs going to have a hard time. Oh, don't forget, Bo Nix and the Bronco boys. Dubs is also going to have a hard time. And the Green Bay defense is going to have a hard time because they also have a solid offense running right now. I mean, they're doing fantastic. So overall, I'm a little bit nervous for Katie. I think she's going to have a very hard matchup. She lost against Sean this week, and she has a chance to redeem herself, but it's going to be. I'm very nervous. I think she'll score more points than 110, but I'm nervous for her, honestly. What do you think?
I think she's going to be fine.
Really?
Yeah. I think Christian McCaffrey's going to come back in and be the savior. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Against Tennessee? That's
I
a good,
I think
a
the
good matchup.
back, it's a great matchup.
Yeah.
And it's at home.
Mm.
I mean, dude, that boy is going to cook. So I think that she scored 110 points this week. I don't think there's any way she scores 110 next week. And I think that Sean beat her the wrong week.
You think so?
I do. So I think Katie is going to advance. I think her team is just, yeah, I don't know. I just think that I think that Sean is going to catch her at the wrong week. That's how I feel. I feel like you got to think about it. The Packers, while they have a hard game, they got to play well. They just can't. They're coming off a loss. They just lost to the Bears at home.
Yeah.
They got to win. And then she's got McCaffrey coming off a bye. He's gonna play. He's gonna play well. I agree. Her wide receiver situation is not the best, but Devontae Adams has been a very good wide receiver. And with her running back situation with McCaffrey and Jacobs, I think she's gonna be fine. I think they're gonna make up those points. and things are going to go her way.
Mm.
That's how I feel. So, I would maybe consider Mark Andrews. Well, no, they're playing against Cincinnati. Yeah, I don't know. He just signed a contract, which sometimes can like give a boost, but sometimes it can go the other way.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
yeah.
Kincaid is just tough because there's so many options on the Bills. Like that's the thing is like if it's Kincaid's day, it's going to be his day. But
Yeah.
Josh Allen can go with so many different people.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I just think that it's a bad omen for Sean that he's playing her 2 weeks in a row, and he got her on the week where McCaffrey was on bye. That's my thought. So, but we're about to go into Sean's lineup here in a second, and I could change my prediction here at the end. We'll see.
Okay.
All right, so
Let's
here
break
we
it
go.
down.
Let's jump over to Sean. Dak Prescott, quarterback. Bijan, running back. Genty, running back. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver. Igbuka, wide receiver. Fannin for tight end. C. Brown, Cincinnati running back. D. Vell, don't even know who that is, in for wide receiver. C. Little, Seahawks defense. And the bench options, Trevor Lawrence, D. Neal, Zach Charbonnet, Terry McMillan, and Dallas Goedert and San Francisco. What jumps out to you off the gate here?
I've already done a little bit of deep diving while you were talking about Katie's team. And I mean, overall, this is why I'm a little bit nervous for Katie because I think Sean has a decent lineup. You're talking about Dak Prescott going against Minnesota, Justin Jefferson going against Cowboys. Both of those defenses are trash, which I think means both players are going to ball out. You got Bijan Robinson going against Tampa Bay. I think he's going to eat that week. Yes, Genty's in his RB2, but I think in reality, Chase Brown is his actual RB2. And Chase Brown, this second half of the season, has been showing up. Going against Baltimore, who has been pretty flaky. Egbuka goes up against Atlanta, which I think he can, come back and start showing up some points that he was showing in the early week. Oh, and then you look at his bench. McMillan comes back. Carolina has a lot to play for, and they go against New Orleans. Goddard showed up and balled out. Can he do that again? They're going against Vegas at home. So overall, I think Sean caught Katie. This is what I'm saying. I think Sean caught Katie at the right time for this week, and that's why he got the win, and that's how he got to 7-7. And I think he's about to catch her on another good week because Katie has the harder matchups with her players while Sean has the more favorable matchups. And that's what I'm seeing. Overall, I think Dak Prescott, there's some easy, nothing's going to trade out. Like, Dak stays in, Bijan stays in, Chase Brown stays in. Genty, I don't know your other running back. It's really that or Charbonnet or Neal. But, I mean, Neal, I don't know. I don't know who you would pick, but that's a flex option. So maybe you could switch it up for McMillan or maybe for Goddard. Because if you switch the position of Chase Brown and Genty, then you could put a wide receiver or a tight end in that spot. And that might get you more points than Genty. So that would be my biggest change up for you, is to do that.
Yeah, I like at least moving Genty down to the flex just to give you some more options there and just lock in Chris Brown as your RB2. I would just move Genty down there, and as the week develops, maybe just evaluate how you want to move. So, well, I think this is a great segue into predictions, and we're going to start with this game. And here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
What I just said about Katie, I recant my statement after looking at Sean's lineup because here's why. Justin Jefferson scored 4 points. He was thrown 4 times. That's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
And I forgot that McMillan was on bye, and so he's going to be in. So I think that is another huge factor. That's going to be a boost in his lineup. And they're playing against New Orleans, which is trash.
Yeah.
And they're playing against New Orleans. Let me see here. Okay, it's at New Orleans, so it's a dome game, so weather not a factor. Bryce Young can throw the ball around. So
I think you look at this lineup and you just say, hey, substitute out Genty for McMillan. Maybe substitute out Vele or whoever his name, Devon Vale, for Goddard. I think that's a solid Goddard against Vegas. That's a solid team.
yeah, so his lineup would be Prescott, Robinson, Brown,
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson, Igbuka,
Uh-huh.
or do you go McMillan there? You go Jefferson, McMillan.
I don't think it matters. It's the same wide receiver, so let's just say Igbuka just because it's there right now.
Okay, and then Goddard, Genty, and then you'd put McMillan down here.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good lineup.
Then you have Little, and then you have Seahawks defense. Now the Seahawks defense is going against Indianapolis, which is Indianapolis needs to show up, but you're talking about Indianapolis with a 44-year-old quarterback. We have no clue how Phillip Rivers is going to do showing up. But you have San Francisco as well, who's coming off a bye, and they go against Tennessee.
And it's Seattle in Seattle, which is where they play the best.
Yeah, I go with Sean in this. I think Sean's reign continues sadly for Katie. I think Sean's catching Katie at the worst 2 weeks of her possible time, and I think she might suffer from that.
I think it's going to be a head-to-head battle. I think this one's going to come down to the wire.
It's going to be a good game. 100%.
Man, I'm going to have to go with Sean.
It pains me to say that too.
It's crazy.
Because Katie's done so well, and honestly, I think Katie deserves a late playoff push. But it's just like, I'm just looking at it, and it's just like, she still could.
I mean, there is a reason this is the middle matchup, is because these two teams, I think, are pretty evenly matched. And I mean, it's going to be a battle at the end of the day. I mean, Katie scored 23.05 and Sean scored 23.69. So
nice.
Nice. So basically 60 more points than Katie throughout the entire season. So it's a pretty evenly matched team scoring wise. It's just going to come down to, are you going to maximize your lineup and who's going to come to play? So
now, I will say this. I think statistically, I think Sean's going to win. Who do I want to win? Because I go against the winner of this. I want to go against Katie because I've beaten Katie twice, and I'd like to beat Katie a third time because I'm very nervous of Sean and his team. I think he's just got so much momentum that I feel like I might just get caught in the steamroller that I'm just going to get caught under the train that he is just running right now. 7 wins on the bounce, possibly 8. So personally for me, I'd like Katie. I'll take Katie. And maybe that comes to bite me.
Maybe. All right, Heather and Kevin. I am going to say I would like to play Kevin because I don't want to have to play my wife in the playoffs.
You lose either way.
I lose either way. But what I will say is I think Heather is going to win because Kevin's Achilles heel, unless he can correct it, has been picking the right lineup. And I don't know if he can do it this week. If there's any week where he's got to change his coaching philosophy, it's this week. I'm gonna pick Heather. I think that I agree that I think Kevin has more options, but I think that is his problem. Is he can't figure out the right mix. I mean, leaving 40 points on the table this week is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but
here's my big question before I make my decision. You as the elder of Crossroads Church, is Kevin speaking this Sunday or is it Nigel?
I don't know who's speaking.
Because if Nigel's speaking, that means Kevin doesn't have to spend the rest of this week writing up a sermon, doing all that, doing his job, and he can spend time in the lab studying, preparing, cooking the perfect lineup. So, maybe Kevin, call up somebody, call up a guest speaker last minute. Hey, I need you to come speak at my church, please. I'm doing some missionary work, and really the missionary work is you're sending your boys in your lineup on a mission to go steal, kill, and destroy Heather's team. Yeah, overall, I think Heather wins this. I think it's just simply down to, I think Heather's team is stacked, and I think it's very simple to set up. While Kevin, I don't see any proof that he can set up the right team, just like you said. I haven't seen it this season, and I'd love to be proven wrong, but so far, from what I've seen last season at the end of the season and this season, there's nothing I can see. So I think Heather gets it through, and that means next week or the week after, it's me versus Sean and you versus Heather.
Crazy.
Spicy matchups to go.
All right. Well, there we go. Hey, playoffs start Thursday night. So when this gets released, playoffs are starting this night. So no trades can be made. Maybe there's some waiver pickups that you could do in the final moments to better your team. But outside of that, it's time to buckle up and ride with who got you to the dance. All I know is one thing. Me and you are going to be safely at home watching the madness unfold.
What are you doing for your bye week? I'm obviously going to be sharpening my swords, preparing for war.
Yeah, I don't know. I might go forage for some mushrooms. I might go out there and try to find some, might just go out into the bird sanctuary of West Ghent and just go around on the paths and just forage,
All right, I'm preparing for war and you're just being a hippie. I see. Two different ways to prepare for war, I guess. You're doing the...
Oh, man. Love it. Hey, look forward to seeing what this week has to bring, baby. Buckle up. Catch you on the flip side.
Football, football. Football, football, football. Football, football, football. Football, football, football. Football, football.